The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio. Here we go. Missy K.
Hello and welcome to the Missy K's Loose Lip Show. I'm your girl, Missy K, and we have in the building with us.
I think I'm Lady D's.
Depending
on what day of the week it is.
The rotation change.
I gotta switch it up. When you don't switch it up, people get bored. They get used to the same thing.
I thought I was Hey.
Not today.
I'm so sorry. Well, I'm Lala and I'm back. Hey.
Hey, Lala, back from vacation.
Yes.
I'm the official hey.
Now she's official now. She's official.
We have a great show planned for you guys today. We have some pretty hot topics. It's gonna get heated in here. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. It's one of those days. We have our special guest in the building tonight. We have Mr. Sheldon Butler. Guitarist, singer, and photographer.
We need some
So ladies, get your snaps ready.
Yes.
So, Lala.
She's ready to go.
Yes. No, man. I'm just back from my vacation and my birthday. Oh, my God. It's
How was it?
It was so nice. We did Miami, and then we went to the Bahamas on a cruise. Ooh. I had to suck it in. I was in the two-piece. I got the two-piece shit from churches, boy. I tell you, but it was nice.
As long as you didn't have the rolls.
No, you know what?
No.
I had to camouflage that, you know. It was good, though. It was good. So, yeah.
We're all getting in our health and fitness to get ready for the summer. Haley and I have been in the gym like crazy.
Is it break time yet?
No.
Did you change the way you were eating or just going to the
Everything.
gym?
Everything above.
Good. I started, like I said, some ginger shots. Like, it's really good. It's all the flows through your system when you're not eating anything, drinking water. So it actually really helped. It was really good. Yeah.
Ginger shots.
As injections?
No. It's a little
apple cider
jar.
vinegar.
I'm like,
little
what is
drinks.
that?
No. It's actually really good. It really is good, and I definitely could tell the difference. So.
Yeah, men use them to keep the yang up.
Grandma thought we was taking steroids or something.
Well, they do have injections to lose weight. So I thought that was something
They do?
new. So
They
we
do.
injected ginger now?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So what's on everyone's lips, Lala Young?
Man, Kanye, I really didn't want to even talk about him, but he wants to be relevant. He has a new album coming out, but just like, I believe it was last year. Last year we had the same conversation with Ben Carson when he said slaves were immigrants, right?
Yes, we did.
And I'm like, okay, so now Kanye West is saying that 400 years being a slave, it had to be a choice.
A choice. Who says that?
Kanye
West.
said it.
I'm just
Kanye
saying.
said it.
I'm saying, but
Consider the source.
Tell me what you...
I promise to God, I knew you were going to say that.
Consider the source.
Yes.
Because that's your thing. And as soon as he said it, as soon as I saw the video, I heard your voice say that. Consider the source.
Right.
But I don't care. He shouldn't have said it. Because it's like I was telling someone, when you are of influence,
Right.
some things just cannot come out of your mouth. Because his thing was, that's the way I felt. That's what was on my mind. That's what I was thinking.
But he hasn't been he hasn't been that influential in a long time because he just keeps doing stupid things over and over again.
That's
Ever
true.
since he went on the stage and snatched the mic out of somebody's face on national television. Who does that?
Jordan Sparks?
Does it?
No, that's
No,
Taylor
it's
Swift.
Swift.
Yes.
Swift. Yeah.
Who does that? That's not normal behavior.
He's
No,
always
it's not.
been that, a-hole type person. Like, the entire time that I learned about him. When I first learned about Kanye, I've known his attitude.
Right.
Right.
person he is.
But there are still some people who look up to him and who listens to him. There are just
Trump.
like I was going to say, just like Trump.
Right.
Even though Trump is ignorant as hell, there are some people that still like him, live up to him, and they listen to the things they say and they take some weight to it. You know, it's just like we are very influential in our community.
Yes,
we can't just say things that just come out of our head, even though we may, you know, be against a lot of things that are going on in this world right now. We as public figures cannot just say certain things.
Exactly.
I tell all of my
That's why I say it's not normal.
all of my guy friends, you know, they want to be rappers now.
Right.
They don't want to go out to go to college to get a real job. They want to be rappers. And I asked them, I say, so 10 years from now, because you're 18, about to be 28 in 10 years, you know, when you have kids, you want your kids listening to your music or other kids listening to your music. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be an influence. When all the Drakes and all the Nicki Minaj's and all the Kendrick Lamar go away, you know, somebody has to take their place eventually and influence the younger generation.
Right.
Are you going to be that influence?
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, it
Definitely is. One of the reasons when he said, I didn't really be like, okay, oh my God, here we go. But it did spark a conversation, like I was saying before.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone is talking about it. But it's more affecting, I would say, the younger generation. And I wanted to ask you, because you are in school, what are they talking about? Because I think prior slavery, I wasn't talking about slavery, because I even asked my son, do you really know the extent of what went on? And no, because we shield our kids to not have to worry about certain things. So that conversation does not be in
Our districts also showed that from what we learned, because in school we just learned about the slaves were taken from their homes in Africa, put on a ship, brought here to work. That's all we were taught. We weren't taught like what they really went through, you know, their hardships and everything else. Just like we don't learn about how the Native Americans did or the Mexicans did, you know. We just have to learn that through our older, you know,
through your parents.
Right.
Exactly.
But you bring up a very valid point, though, because that generation is not being taught
Right.
our beginnings.
Right.
People like him can come along and say these
Yes.
ignorant things and
Exactly.
plant
And
stuff
it
in their
holds weight.
heads.
And that's why it is our responsibility to make sure that we are having these conversations with our children.
I'm even madder now.
But that's what I'm saying, because in a way you don't want it. Go ahead.
His influence.
Yes.
I know I said that a few minutes ago.
Well, it's influence, but he has a fertile ground because he has these are young people who don't know their history as they should.
Exactly, because you still have kids that'll come to somebody Lala and I's age and say, "Did they have black and white TVs when you guys were little?
Right.
Was slavery still around when you guys were little?" Because they don't know.
We don't know.
They don't know. That sense of timeline is not prevalent in their heads.
Exactly.
And like I was posted in a group, I said, this is my thing. I said, if you think about where slavery actually started, it started in Africa. In Africa, back then, their primary language was not English.
No.
Right.
You know, so you got to think about it from the beginning. They weren't speaking English. They're being taken from their homelands and they're taken to this foreign land where they don't even understand the language, let alone what the hell is going on and why am I not home anymore?
Right.
Exactly.
And they were brought here in boatloads.
Right.
And then you said, okay, well, why didn't they stand up? Dude, they're massacring their whole families in front of them. If you don't work, I'm going to kill your wife and kids.
No, they actually showed them. I read
Exactly.
that they showed them getting the biggest, strongest black man.
Exactly.
And tearing them apart. And the women is showing them, if I can do this to this strong man, what you think I'm going to do to you?
Right.
Exactly.
So out of fear and conditioning, of course they're not going to just leave and say, this is going to happen to me.
Exactly.
So it's definitely a deep conversation that we need to talk about and you know, a lot of us are uncomfortable with it, but we got to get past that and talk about it. And that's the main thing why I was saying I wanted to talk about what he said, so that we have that open dialogue with everyone.
Yes.
It's bigger than what we are here sitting, and it's going to take a long time, but you got to have the dialogue and talk about it.
You know, I believe there's something positive in everything.
Yes.
You know that. I always try to always look for the positive.
Right.
And if there's anything positive in there, is that.
Yep.
Yes.
It starts us talking. It starts our kids hopefully asking questions. At least
Exactly.
it prompts us to start talking to our kids.
Precisely.
You know, so that's the upside to all this. Other than that, he's a jerk.
I hope you guys
I'm
do
sorry.
teach us, because when I have kids, I don't even know what I'm going to tell them. Mommy, what happened? Well, see, there was slavery. When? I 1900. To when? I don't know. Maybe about when my grandma was a teen. I don't know, man.
Whoa.
No,
Let's Google it. You see?
Whoa.
Like I said, they have no
I'm gonna be in my big house like Siri.
Right.
They have no sense of time.
Not at all.
None.
It's crazy.
What else is going on, Lala?
Man, last week Bill Cosby was found guilty on 3 charges, so the other women are going to start coming
30
out. And
years.
yes, he would be dead before all of that, though. Because his health is
If he makes,
bad.
if he goes to prison, we don't. He may not even go.
You guys forget about the little thing called probation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
He may not consider how old it is and all that stuff. He may not even go to prison.
His honorary degree was revoked. Also, his star was taken.
Yeah.
And crazy thing, even if he was found guilty, but there were so many different men doing these sexual acts on women and also men. And it's like they focus on one person. R. Kelly is another one. So, they have a group that's trying to ban all his music for the stuff that he's doing with these young girls. And the crazy thing is, one of the girls that knew what R. Kelly was doing and what he went to trial for, because she was at the trial every dang on day, cutting school. 16-year-old or 14-year-old. And I'm like, where's your mom? Do your mom know you're cutting school?
She's emancipated.
I'm just
kidding. I'm just kidding.
But I'm just saying, how you don't know what your girls are doing? And she stayed there. She signed this little.
I did a whole lot of stuff my mama didn't know about. I'm gonna keep 100.
Okay, and that's fine.
I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Okay,
You said my mama was at work.
She
was a nurse.
It's trickling in.
She's still valid. She was a nurse. She was at work.
Little tidbits here
I'm
and
just
there.
saying. No, I'm just saying. Kids find a way to do stuff.
Go ahead.
Is that still a valid ticket to get your butt beat?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Do you see where I am when I say that? I'm on this side of the
See your
table.
mother from the other end of the table.
I'm on this side.
Because I know that was me, and that was you. You would have picked up that iPad right there and kind of like football launch it to me. Like,
you notice how you didn't chime in, don't you?
Take cover.
I was a good girl.
18 next month or not. I dare you to chime in.
And you know what? No, my thing is, even though your mama may not have known what you were doing, I know one time you stated that you did like older men.
Right.
There's a lot of young girls that do like older men, but when these girls are seeking out these men, and if that's their preference, or younger women, why aren't both of them being penalized or parents being penalized? Why is it all on this man?
Yeah.
Not saying anything that he did was okay.
Right.
But there are young girls that, just go after these men. They stop at their house. This girl was going to court seeing exactly what this man was doing and was saying, oh, this is something I want.
Right. So her parents ought to be penalized like they penalize for other minor acts.
Exactly. Like truancy.
So you can call your mom. You didn't call a parent and say this girl's not been going to school?
I said like truancy.
Hey.
Yes, you're
that's
right.
all I'm saying. Is it? I'm not.
Yeah.
It is wrong. Agree. Everything is wrong. And the stars, and they put them up there, and then they keep talking about what they're doing. But what about these young girls that are being actually molested? Family members are molesting these young girls. Parents knowing, aunts knowing, uncles knowing, the church know, and they turn an eye to it. They don't say anything and they don't do anything, and it's happening all the time. And no one is doing it. Anything.
Right.
Oh, we found Bill Cosby. He's guilty. Now we're going to go after R. Kelly. But what about all those other men?
They're going after, what's that other one? Weingart?
Yes.
Weinstein.
I mean, there are a few of them that they're going after.
There's a lot of them.
They just aren't as prominent in the news.
Right.
Because, he's white. He's black.
Even if it's not in the news, I'm talking about
that's the guy you showed me that was compared to Bill Cosby. And the difference was Bill was drugging his...
But there are quite a few of them that are coming up. You'll be hearing more about it,
and not even just the news, amongst our peers. Right. They're not talking about it. And I know.
Well, they're not talking about, because most of black people, they always think we got to be innocent. That they're picking on us. We know they're just going after us. Right. And my thing is, if you're not doing these things, we're not having this conversation.
That's right.
And just like Kanye, like he's iconic too. Bill Cosby did set a really good example for all of us as children, and then all of a sudden, whoa.
But see, that's the problem. And I try to, every time somebody mentions that to me, I tell them, like, listen, we are looking at Dr. Huxtable and the comedian. We don't know Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
We cannot say what Bill Cosby will or will not do.
Right.
Wow.
We can't.
That's right. All right. So
we all got secrets.
Wrap it up and get to the question of the day. First, I want to say I had an incredible time at the Bahamas, and I want to go back.
Oh God!
I'll come back on Wednesday so I can do my show, or I could just broadcast. Man, but yes. Thank you, baby Sean. I love
Bahamas.
Okay, here we go. My little special shout out. So the question of the day. Question of the day.
Question of the day.
Question of the night. Should women be given jail time or prosecuted for falsely accusing men of rape, sexual harassment, or sexual abuse? I say yes.
I say yes.
I definitely say yes.
I say hell yes.
Let's go.
That's how strong I feel about it.
ASAP,
Yes.
right now.
Haley, what's your opinion on that?
I think they should. Like, why put these men through all of this stress, trying to fight for their lives, and you putting them in the hole, deeper into a hole, not even as a black man, but men in general.
Period.
Right? And then, he's not guilty. And that's just it. Like, you get to live free.
My bad.
Like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
We have a
I'm
phone
sorry,
call.
I lied.
We have a phone call, ladies.
All right.
I forgot how to work these things.
Hello and welcome to the Missy Loose Lips Show. What's your name and where you're calling from?
This is James, calling from San Pedro.
Jay from San Pedro?
Yeah.
Hi, Jay from San Pedro.
Hi, Jay.
So, I wanted to say something real quick about the Kanye situation.
Well, Jay, what you got to say?
I think that the Kanye situation is an example of how black people are not really educated. Like, I mean, we were enslaved for a certain amount of time. White people also were enslaved, but you never hear white people say the same thing about themselves.
Right.
You hear black people all the time that will question or start making theories about what we could have done. And the Bill Cosby thing,
You're absolutely right.
it's sad that, something like that had to happen to a black person that was an icon, which is Bill Cosby. So my thing is, we don't see the same energy when it comes to Weinstein and all the others. And where does it go? Like, yeah, Bill Cosby is guilty, but Weinstein had 80 people that said he's guilty, but yet he's still not in court.
Right.
And I think that's the real problem that I have with those two situations.
Right. And more recent ones. And people are still coming out about it.
It's like I said, to me, in that situation, it's what's going to be in the headlines. What's going to stay in the headlines more. And when you actually think about it, Bill Cosby is a bigger name. It's a bigger draw.
Right.
And the fact that he's African-American doesn't hurt at all.
Right.
That's just my opinion. So thank you, Jay, for calling.
Thank you.
Sure,
Thanks,
ladies.
Jay.
You guys have a great show.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, Lala, take us into our break.
I will take you into the break. This is Lala with the Missy Loose Lips Show. You can catch me on Facebook, Missy Loose Lips Show. Also, Missy Loose Lips Show group. We get down nasty.
Calm down. Calm down.
You gotta start bringing some of those questions to the show.
You know what
You
I
do.
am? You know what? I was just trying to fill it out for a minute, but I got this next time.
Okay.
Especially that last thing you did with the fill in the blank.
Ooh, Lord. Okay, so again, up next is the beautiful, my love, Lady D's, What Dating After 50, Kissable Nights.
And we'll be right back after this break. and welcome back to the Missy K's Loose Lift Show. I'm your host, Missy K, and now we've been joined by the talented Sheldon Butler. How are you?
I am doing super well. It's an honor to be on the show, and I'm excited to talk. Yeah.
So right now we're going to get into Kissable Nights by Miss Lady D's, and you're going to be our male perspective.
Okay.
Because they say that, we can be a little biased sometimes.
Okay.
You get to break up the monotony.
Let's see what I have to offer.
Okay, what are you building on? This came up because more and more individuals over 50 are starting to what we call shack.
Okay.
But they are living together because most of them have been married before, and most of the marriages didn't end well, and so they refuse to remarry, and so they're living together. Okay. But there are drawbacks to that because especially when you've lived together for so long. Let me ask you a question. Is common law marriage legal?
Not in California.
In some states. But I don't think it is. I thought California was a common law.
It used to be, not anymore.
Oh, well.
It has part of this conversation?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes, you are.
No, I was just... I didn't know if I was qualified.
Yeah.
He's I was qualified.
You know what? It's because it's not just with people of 50, because young people are also doing a lot of shacking, and they don't understand all that is involved in it. Right. Especially when you're in these extended relationships. Right. A lot of people in California, you talk to them, they think we do have a common law that's legal here, and it's not. Right. You're right. It hasn't been since 1895.
Oh, wow.
Right. But people, they live together, they stay together 5, 6, 7 years, and they think, okay, we're common law now, and I have rights. Right. But you really don't. You don't. And what's happening is that they start living together, they start building together. They're purchasing property. Yes. They all this stuff. They're having children and all this stuff, and they think that gives them a right to half. The same as a wife would have, because they think they're covered under common law. The law, and we don't have it.
And not even that, even making the final decisions for the person once they're at their demise.
Exactly.
They die, whoever his next of kin is, make all those decisions.
Exactly.
The mama coming in.
Exactly.
And I've seen
better hope that his child is over 18.
Right.
And I've seen it happen time and time again. Women stay with these men and until they die. Yes. And they've built all this stuff, and guess what? Because they were not married, the ex-wife and the children or the parents come in and take everything that they've built together. Right.
Or they start living with these dudes, and they still separated from their wives.
Exactly. And the wife gets everything. Married.
Exactly.
Yes. So you need to be careful. I understand the reason people do some of this stuff, but it's not going to go as well as you think it's going to go if something happens. And I just don't believe in living with somebody and building. If I'm putting my money in and I'm building, or we're going to be married. Right.
Absolutely.
Unless you're smart enough to get it in writing, a legal document that covers you in the event that one or the other something happens to them.
Absolutely.
To prevent their families from coming in and taking everything that the two of you have built. But most of them don't do that.
Some of them don't want to build. Some of them half-ass homeless and need a place to stay. And they just get comfortable in that situation because
that's a good point.
That's a lot of times that's what's going on. You have men living lives outside the house and a woman doing her thing. No one is dedicated to the relationship anymore.
I'm not talking about those people. Those people don't count. I'm talking about people in real serious relationships.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Solid relationships who have a lot to lose, right? If the business is not handled, right? And it's a real problem with people over 50. Seriously, So I'm just saying that if you find it necessary to live with someone instead of marrying them, make sure that you are legally covered in writing as to what's going to happen if one or the other dies.
Right. Sheldon, have you ever lived with anyone?
Aside from roommates, no. What I wanted to ask you, kind of going back to you guys' conversation about education, is should people be getting educated on marriage, or should they be focusing on financial education and business preparation?
Both.
I would say both, but especially financially.
Yes.
You know, you need to know, because if both of you are paying the bills and both of you are doing this and doing that, you need to know where you stand in the situation if something happens. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need both. You know, really.
Hold on, Haley B. You know you can talk, right?
Can I really?
I'm like, she's up here doing this sign language. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What if your marriage doesn't even really work out? Because then what are you going to do? Because you spent your life depending on this man or this woman that you've been living with. And when you come out of the situation, you have nothing to fall back on. But then if you go through that financial education thing, you can fall back on that. You have something to build.
Right. So so Haley B saying it's a fallback plan.
Right.
What Lady D's is talking about is a fallback plan.
Yeah.
It's not just you half cocked.
Exactly. Just living with somebody and not, you know, you in love and goo goo gaga, you know, and you putting all your money into this situation.
I don't even like men living with me. I'm gonna let you know right now. If it ain't a ring on it, you can't stay with me, baby.
And that's why I don't promote my children or anybody that I know, anybody that I talk to. I discourage shacking.
I can't do it.
I figure if you're good enough for him to live with, and you ought to be good enough for him to marry.
Exactly.
And if you're going to be building with him, you better be married, or you better have some documents to cover your butt.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. You know, don't let that old joker get old and die on you.
You look like you just want to say something.
So
we're women. You know you got to just cut in, right?
I recently came out of a situation where me and my girl were dating, and our reason for not living together was, you know, religious background stuff.
Yes.
But one of the things that we did talk about a lot of times is if we're living together, we should both be able to afford or support the place that we're in individually.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people, they come into the situation like completely leaning on the other, like you're talking about.
Yes.
And I wish that it was a part of American education to teach people about finances. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a dope position because I only have $18,000 in debt, but that's still so much. And people are like, I'm in the 40s and the 70,000s. I'm like, but why? No one should be in that situation. In the place that we live, not cool.
Right. They're not teaching it at all.
Right. Haley B made that point on the show last week that they need to start educating them in school. I think it should be a part of their senior curriculum. Because like Haley right now, she has what do you have, like 5 classes? Yeah. That other class can be a class geared towards financials, you know, financial planning for your life.
Or
I mean, economics is
class.
cool.
Yeah, they took a lot of that stuff out. They took a lot of stuff out of school.
They were going to offer a class where that's going to attract more kids back into our district because we're losing kids. We're going to call it a life skills class now.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's good.
Next year or the year after that now.
That's good. Otherwise, we'll have to go to schools like the Academy of Finance over there with
I want my kids going to vocational school at some point.
Yes.
Like they need to learn a skill or trade or something. Because when I came out of college, I had my degree and I'm like, paper, yay, and no one was trying to hire me.
You know,
you can read and write well, great.
I tell people that all the time. Like I had somebody, I dated somebody I met online and it didn't work out. And because of the reason why it didn't work out, he's like, well, I don't date women that don't have degrees anyway. And he's like, I have 2 and you don't have any. I said, how about we do this? Let's play big bank, take little bank. Because even with your 2 degrees, I still make more money than you.
Right.
Let's play this game. You know? So to me, I think somebody asked that question before. Like, you know, I think, was that me that brought that up? Like, okay. Like, okay, does a college degree still matter these days?
No.
That's a tough question.
You know, because I know people with college degrees making minimum wage.
There's a lot of them making minimum wage.
You know?
And some of them can't even get a job.
Right. Yeah, say something. Hello, we have a studio guest.
Yes.
Hi. We love you.
Yes. So much excellence in the building.
Thank you.
I'm just catching and coming into the conversation. Everybody up there married or on your way to
divorced?
Divorced?
Single.
On my way to.
On your way to?
Divorced.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm getting the right information. I take information and I decipher it and I utilize it for me as well as my loved ones.
Okay.
And, I can comment on my mother and my father. It was little children and he had a crush on her. She ain't want him. It took for her to go all the way to the other side of the world to come back for them to be married for 20-something years.
Yeah, right.
It started off with her having two sons, myself, and my older brother, and they had the shot.
Yes.
To see
well, I don't know about you.
If that's what you want.
Right. Okay.
But he loved her without a question of doubt. They, congratulating her. I love us, mama. But I'm just saying that in the sense of we got to be here for each other. We got to love each other.
Right.
I agree with that.
You got to breathe life into your man. If
yeah.
you know your man,
I like that. Breathe life into your man.
Or your woman. Or your queen.
Your person.
If you have the college degree and he doesn't have a college degree, or vice versa, you have to give that education and that
to that
wisdom.
next
Absolutely.
person. That's right.
Left and the right leg, and one body, and one spirit, one soul. So amen to that. I love
That's
that.
right.
I agree with that 500%.
I've been trying to throw him into the basketball game for about 5 minutes.
I ran here.
It's all right.
I apologize for coming a little late.
No worries.
You're fine.
But before we go, I need to clarify one thing about the law, the common law. Okay, although we don't have one on the books, that is not as cut and dry as that. As if you can go to the courts and lose because they don't have a common law. If you come from a state that has a common law on the books, you can come here and then you move here, you relocate to here, and then you decide to break up. If you were common law then, you met all the qualifications, okay, you can come here and possibly win in court.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Although, now if you're here and we don't honor it, but if you come somewhere else that did, you can possibly win. Because people think it's just that cut and dry. No, there are a few exceptions that you can go to court and probably win.
Right. Okay.
So just because we don't have the law, it's ourselves doesn't rule you out.
Take us into our break.
Do I have to?
You do.
Yes, you do, love.
Hey, you've been listening to Lady D's here at Kissable Nights. I thank you for joining us tonight. You can find me on where? Facebook, Dorothy and Drew. Lady D's, LADDEEZ at Twitter and Instagram. Yes. And next up, be the one and the only who?
Haley B.
The brat in the bunch. We're going to get lipped with Haley B.
So before we go into Haley B segment, we're going to hear a song from our guest, Mr. Sheldon Butler.
All right.
What's the name of that song again?
Fast Life.
Hey! Right, we'll be right back.
Nice.
Every day stressing cause them bills gon' come. Up in the morning way before the sun. Hustling, grinding, making moves for this paper. Feeling pressure for time so I can sleep later. Red in my eyes, Lord, I know I'm tired. Working 3 jobs but I've got more inside. Do you understand how hard that I try? Yeah, yeah. That fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Oh, living that fast life. I'm living that fast life. Living that fast life. Oh, I am living that fast life. Oh, living that fast life. Living that fast life. You know how hard it is waking up at 5 when you went to bed at 3. Then your phone rings. And now it's 6:30, but your bus left at 6:15. Oh, and don't the rain feel good at the bus stop? You're standing at the bus stop, but it don't stop. Then you start running and you don't slow down, cause you got big dreams and can't stop now. Living that fast life. You're living it. I'm living that fast life. Yeah. Oh, living that fast life. Can you feel me when I say it? Living that fast life. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. Oh, this fast life. Living that fast life. That fast life. Sing it one more time. Oh yeah. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. You're living, I'm living. Living that fast life. We're living, they're living that fast life. That fast life. Living that fast life. fast life. Ooh yeah. Living that fast life. Ooh yeah. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Living that fast life. Fast life. Living that fast life.
I'm not singing.
Living that fast life.
Did I just pop up my boobies?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's that loose lips right there.
I was about to go in and pull them this way and pull one that way and then go up, but I didn't do that.
Can we not flash our viewers, please? During
Welcome
my
back to
segment,
welcome
we
back.
can do EBCK everywhere with her, every boobie everywhere.
My body is a nipple. Welcome back to the EBCK Loose Lip Show. I'm your girl, EBCK, and we are back.
I'm going to tell you the story in a second. Okay,
We are back. We're back. We're back, people. This is the portion where we do our interviews with our very own Haley B. We call it Get Lipped. And Haley does such an excellent job. I want to let you know that on air that you're actually pretty good at this.
Thank you.
You know, so I'm gonna let go of them strings just little by little. But
let me tell you that confusing story though about
my body is a nipple.
Okay.
It's
Listen.
the start to a beautiful poem.
Listen, let me tell you about the story.
Okay.
So I'm young.
Yeah.
I was like 2, maybe 3. I just learned how to speak, you know. Mm-hmm. I like to speak. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was raised in the church, all right? I wanted my family to look at me like, oh, there's this little princess, you know, the little princess. And I'm a little princess. So
once a little teapot right now.
I was like, Mommy, how come, like, why do you have tattoos? Like, how come I can't get a tattoo? She said, Haley, because your body is a temple. And I said, okay, that's cool. So I'm thinking, like, I'm smart. I got this. Let's go. I'm about to go show my grandma. You feel me? How smart I am. I'm about to go blow her brains out. You feel me? I told Grandma, I said, Grandma, I'm not going to get tattoos one day because my body is a nipple. And I was so serious.
She was serious.
I was so serious. I was so on it, like nipple.
And we're like this.
What?
She said, Haley,
phone calls. Who taught you this?
No, she said nipple.
I said, I meant nipple, and that's what I'm saying.
She
I'm going
repeated
with
it.
Oh.
In church.
Oh.
And the rest is history.
So
we have Get
soon.
Lipped with Hey Hey.
Yeah.
Feminism, free nipple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Free nipples. I'm not with her today.
Wow.
Shells.
I'm not going to go with you.
That's the right way to start off the
I'm
segment.
going to tell you my philosophy later on today, but right now this is about you, okay?
About free nipples?
Oh, do you want to hear my philosophy about free nipples? I'm so serious. I stand up in my classroom. Like, I did a movement with eyeliner on our hand. # free nipple. Because I feel like, at the end of the day, like, if guys can go to school, they don't have to wear a bra. You can see their cold nipples through their t-shirt. They can wear the nipples out at the beach, you know? And it's like, and then, like, guys, like, look at us like, oh, where's your bra? Where's your bra?
Right.
And some of them need bras. I'm
Like,
just
the
saying.
only difference between my nipples and yours is that mine contain meat in them. Yours don't. Like, oh my God. Free nipple.
Haley
Hey,
has
no, I feel her on that, though.
Haley has a
Legit.
transgender
Thank you.
friend.
Legit.
Haley has a transgender friend on her IG.
His name is Pay.
And I wasn't going to say all that. Oh, my bad. And, but I was like, you know, he was taking a picture without his shirt on or whatever, right? And he put a sticker over his nipple. I said, Haley, guys, don't do that.
Let Pay be. Pay feels free with his nipples somehow. So, Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Hello.
How are you today?
Man, I'm doing good today.
So, Sheldon, what inspired you to start writing music?
Free nipple.
Hashtag free nipple,
What got me started writing music was one of the first ways that I could really process thoughts without anyone judging it.
Right.
And it became like a way for me to connect with people. So in high school is when I really got into it. And I've been kind of writing since.
So have you been singing for, like, your high school classes and all the, you know, people at your school? So, like, did you make your own voice at your school with your music?
I actually didn't make my own voice yet
Right.
until about college. So high school was like jazz choir and plays and all that fun stuff.
Right.
And then when I got to college, I remember a friend of mine was like, yo, you're getting a degree in multicultural youth program development, but all you do is produce music in your room, and then you get to your homework.
That's a tongue twister. Multicultural. So
Right. Free nipple. From that day is when I decided, yes, I'm going to get my degree. Yes, I'm going to move forward with this. But I also can't get away from making music. So I just started to stop listening to other artists actually and developing my own sound.
I can tell.
Because there was a time where everybody was like, you sound just like John Legend. And while it was a compliment, at the same time I'm going, I still want you to go, that sounded like Sheldon.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So what genre do you consider your own music?
I have settled on a cross between folk, R&B, and jazz.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Totally. Nice. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. It's pretty accurate. Nice. I've heard your music, and I think we've been following you for like the last 3 years. 3 years or so. And Sheldon's family, you guys. He's family. He really is. And he's not just a dope musician. You know, we love you as a person. You already know that. You really are family. But we, going to some of your live shows and stuff, and I can hear the transition from 3 years ago to even what we heard today with Fast Life. I was listening to Fast Life song. Wow, this doesn't even sound like what we heard before. Right. You're always reinventing yourself, and I love it. And I think it is because you don't listen to other artists. You make your own sound. You find your own lane, and you definitely have it.
Thank you. So now, it's been difficult, too, because when I finally get approached by managers and I've gotten 2 record contracts, they're like, so we don't know how to market you. And I'm like, well, then you suck at marketing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, how about take the main storyline and market that?
Exactly.
But yeah, it does come out as kind of like a country tune one song, then an R&B tune, then
kind of but it's your music. It's Sheldon.
Music. Right.
It is.
Right.
It is. I could definitely say that. What was the other thing we were talking about?
Oh, yeah, in the car. So, listen. Have you ever auditioned for any music competitions?
I have auditioned for all the music competitions.
Really?
And they have all said, next! So, actually, on June 10th, I'm going back in for The Voice. But what I've settled... for the third time now. But what I've settled on is, like, when I watch the final competitors... Those people are seasoned craftsmen of their thing.
Yes,
so for me, it's training, it's motivation. It's not the end goal. Because what I've noticed is the people who make it on that show, a couple of them get a little bit of exposure, and the person who wins, half the time you don't hear from them anymore.
Right. True. That's true. That's true.
Or they end up with a team of people just writing like okay pop songs.
Right.
And I would love the exposure of one of those shows. I also don't feel the need to depend on them. Right. Stevie Wonder didn't have a The Voice, and Robin Thicke didn't have a, whatever it was.
Exactly.
They just continued to be entertainers in the full breadth of the idea.
And you are a full entertainer.
Exactly.
With the vocals, the guitar, and you perform. You guys don't understand.
Triple threat.
You guys have to see him live. I mean, he's like dancing and jumping and everything else with the guitar.
Triple threat.
So it's like, where does he find the energy?
And then it's the dance, and it's like boom, boom, boom. You never know. It's like taking 3 hits, 2 pieces, and a biscuit. You feel me?
That girl is crazy.
No, I feel like when you, I'm saying win because I know you will. So when you win these competitions, I feel like I need to look at you like Jordan Sparks, because when Jordan Sparks won her competition with American Idol, or when Kelly Clarkson won her audition with American Idol, you will continue with your voice, with your Sheldon music, because they did it with her Jordan music and her Kelly music. They weren't molded into the people that they are. It was them. Right. Everybody else is trying to be molded. Like, I want to be like Alicia. I want to be like Kelly.
Right.
Like, no, you want to be you.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of which, shout out to Vince Kennedy. He's dope. If you don't know who he is, check him out. Vince Kennedy.
Okay. All right, Vince.
Vince.
Yeah. So my thing is with those shows is Haley, so we watch them, and I like them because I get to see new artists like Haley,
right?
Like Hallie Johnson.
Yes.
Who may not make it, but you still get to see her talent.
Experience.
Right. And there's some really dope singers, and there are some that I'm like, how did you even make it to the top 20? Because you have to have that triple threat, like Haley said. You have to have the performance, not even necessarily the look, because looks can be eclectic,
right?
Right. But at least have that voice and that stage presence is so important.
Now, I want them to come up with a show where the sound can be eclectic, because I want to go up and do original music.
Yes.
I don't want to be remembered as the guy. Remember the guy who did the good Bruno Mars tune? It's like, no, because now you remember Bruno Mars.
Yes.
You don't remember me.
Exactly.
So, looking forward to that day.
That is that's a very good point. I might have to take that onto my wing. I might have to put that into the journal. Where's my hustle journal?
Right. You can always create it. There's room out there. There's so many talented artists out there.
There are.
They're not getting the exposure or the marketing like you were saying. It's like they're looking for a certain type of person to be the same as that other person.
To fit them into those categories.
Exactly. And the ones that are independent that stands out, they don't want to use them.
Right. So. And you know what other dope entity nobody thinks about when it comes to music? What? Background singers.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, every background singer I've ever met in LA is 3 times as good as their lead.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
My goodness.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, Luther was a background singer.
Mary J. Blige.
Faith Evans was a background singer. Mary J. Blige was a background singer. You know? Yes.
Okay.
Right. You know, you think about that.
Yes.
You know, but people don't, you know? And it's all about what you do. Continue to keep going, keep trying, keep putting yourself out there. That's what we do with MSK Entertainment as a company. Right. We find those talents, you know, that nobody knows about, and we put them on the stage. We do all the promo for you. All we want to do is give you a platform.
Thank you.
Just like today. So, before Haley asks her last question, I want you to play us a little something before we go into our break.
Just a little snippet of it.
Do you can play a whole thing. I like to be serenaded.
Let's go, right.
Actually, can I do what I do live with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can hear me say yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say oh, 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 yeah.
Oh, 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 yeah.
Say say I like it like that.
I like it like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Show you affection. Treat every moment like it was new. You don't have to worry. You don't have to hide. No need to protect your heart from me. Girl, I'm being nice. So call me if you with this. Your voice is on my wish list. Know that it's not Christmas, but I'm longing for your presence in my everyday. Won't you please check your answering machine? 'Cause this may be a beautiful thing, my baby. If we can trust again, see reality in our dreams. Oh, this may be.
Hey!
Nice. That was so good, guys. That makes me feel like there actually is what they call it. What's that word again?
Love.
Yes, love.
Out there, like,
yes.
I told my friend the other day, and I told her, I said, if somebody's saying something to you, you believe anything. It's like, I love you. Oh, you do? Yeah. I'm going to give you some money. You are? No.
Like you believe anything through a song. You can have whatever you like. Nah, baby. Just kidding. Haley, take us into our break.
Okay, guys, this is Haley B, Lil Baby, on Get Lipped, my segment. Follow me on Instagram at heyhey.6, Facebook at Haley Bell Lindsay, and going into our break.
Vince Kennedy.
Vince Kennedy. We hear Vince in the background. Hello and welcome back to the Missy K's Loose Lip Show.
That video was like, oh, sorry.
I'm like, who is that? And that was Sheldon. Sheldon did not prepare us for the Missy K Baptist choir.
Right. Don't get it wrong, y'all. I can sing. I just couldn't sing tonight. I wasn't vocally prepared.
You want me to do what?
I wasn't ready. I normally get them started on singing, and my first part, I get them together. I just wasn't ready right now.
He wasn't ready.
Maybe some water and some, exercises.
Lemon juice.
And the right order, because, I think high goes over there.
Right.
And then low, and then medium.
So would you be the tenor?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Because I for sure go high.
I can get low.
Up there. Not tonight, though.
No. So this is Missy K Everywhere, and we are interviewing Mr. Sheldon Butler, who is a singer, songwriter, and photographer.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Tell us about your photography.
So my photography is dope, number one.
Yes, it is.
So I got into photography really because I couldn't work for anybody else anymore. Like when I got out of college, I was like, I need to do something where I can travel. I need to set my own rules, and I need my time to be mine.
You hear that, Haley? Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear him. Not up there.
Yes.
Take notes.
Film, baby. How you doing?
When I moved to Los Angeles, I was working as an assistant manager at Macy's, basically on a lie. I came in there charming, like, yeah, I worked a retail job once. And they were like, sure, we'll hire you. And I went, this is my life right now. This can't be. And one day some lady comes in, I want to talk to corporate. There's no plastic bags at the Beverly Center. I'm like, really? Is that your issue today? Yeah. I'll be leaving now.
Exactly.
I'll be leaving now. I think I just stopped showing up to work. And 2 months later, I ended up starting at this company called Barbizon as their lead photographer, and then it's just been boom since.
Yeah. And you're dope.
Thank you.
You're dope. Nice. I'm saying, you guys can follow him on Instagram. You'll see for yourself.
My website for photography is sheldonbutler.com.
Yes,
I do
we
portraits,
need you.
I do weddings,
just let me know,
I do food.
this thing right here needs
Whatever
to get
you
done.
need,
Right.
I'm
He
good.
said, I do food.
We need you, seriously.
I've been getting into food photography. You can see it on my website at sheldonbutler.com.
I thought he made
your
food.
shot.
I do make food. I can cook. I can cook it down.
I know that's right.
I was probably a couple homegirls. How old are you again?
Huh?
How old are you again?
I am.
You have to give me a couple homegirls.
I'm currently 20.
Get some free food.
No one said anything about free.
Photography.
No one said anything about free.
Exactly.
Only free nipple. That's it.
So you have a birthday coming up.
I do have a birthday coming up. May 20th is my birthday. The concert is May 19th.
You're a Gemini.
I am a Taurus. I'm right on the cusp. I was born at night, so I was like right in that little in-between universal space.
Taurus gang.
So I can relate to a multitude of people.
Okay. So tell us about this birthday party. I see you have some of my friends performing.
Dude. It's going to be amazing. So we've got Tia P, we've got Sonea, we've got Malik and the Loved Ones, and we also have Kels, a.k.a. Jokin' Word. It's going to be comedy, spoken word, a hip-hop show, and then my band. It is going to be incredible.
Where?
And it's going to be at Kulak's Woodshed in North Hollywood. Tickets $15, and we are almost sold out. So
We
if
need
you are
tickets.
planning
I
on
wanna
coming,
go.
Yeah.
I
I
will
wanna
send you
go.
the
Is
link.
it 21 and over? I have to ask
No,
for
it's
certain people.
it's all ages. It's all ages.
Let's go.
Everybody needs to be
gonna
there.
be nice.
It has sold out the last 2 years, and it's
Okay.
always been super bomb. Like, y'all
So
need
we're
to
going to
be
go
there.
online and get our tickets.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we're going as a group.
I'm going.
Yeah, and we're not trying to do like the whole door shuffle. So get your tickets online.
That's right.
Okay, look, they're not
ma'am.
good with dress code here. So
Oh no,
what is
it's a
the-
pajama party. Yes.
I want to go to onesies. I want a onesie. I'm just
Bring your onesie.
Listen,
Bring your
listen,
onesie.
listen. Look, you know I'm a shopaholic, okay? My name is Haley Bell. I'm a shopaholic. I went to Forever 21 yesterday, and they have these cute short rompers with the long sleeve attached to the short rompers and their pajamas and they're buttoned up, and they're better than silk. I'm telling you, they're like soft pillows.
Is it going to show your butt?
They might.
Then no.
You can't.
They might. They might. I don't think my butt will show, but you guys, for a fact, it will. So I can wear it.
What you trying to say?
I can wear it. I'm good, guys. I don't know about you, but I am okay.
I'm done.
Which means we cannot bend over, is what she said. There's no bending over.
I got the shoes and all to go on my outfit. How much it cost again?
What's that address again? Get off of her.
We're there. We are there.
I'm wearing lingerie.
Ooh.
So my booty can't hang out, so you can wear lingerie. Grandma, get her.
Snitch.
Get stitches. Oh, man.
So where is this party again?
So it's at Kulak's Woodshed in North Hollywood. It's going to be 8 to 10 p.m. Tickets $15. And, yeah.
8 to 10?
What else you got?
May 19th?
Yeah.
We can't be late. Okay.
You said May 19th, yeah.
Okay.
May 19th.
That's
yes,
the day
May
after
19th.
prom. I'm already be ready.
It's streaming live, isn't it?
It is streaming live. We're going to be streaming it live.
That's gonna be so nice.
All the information is going to be on my Facebook page, my Twitter, and my Instagram. Everything is just Sheldon Butler or Sheldon Butler Music. And what else am I missing?
You have anything else coming up other than your birthday party?
Right.
I've completed all my shows for the months. I just did 4 shows. Just got back from Pittsburgh, did a show, and it's this one.
No,
This is it.
This
Yeah.
one.
This
I
is the
like
one.
it.
That's so nice.
I'm there.
Yeah.
We have
and
to,
shout out to my band. We got Gabi Martinez, Chuck Kim, and Dot the drummer. You guys have seen them at the study, and they are killer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dope. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes,
Yeah.
so cool.
We I was talking to Haley and I was like I was reflecting on the last time that we saw you live. And
Was that down at Harvell's or it was down in Long Beach, right?
Oh my
it wasn't
God.
Long Beach. It wasn't Long Beach. Yeah, it was somewhere out in Hollywood.
What?
It had to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it had show after show.
Yeah.
You guys had so
You
much
know
fun.
what?
It was like a bunch of different. Everybody had different segments going.
Right.
Okay, tell me about it. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Blur. I can't remember what I ate for dinner last night. I don't
It's
know.
okay. But we were discussing the band, and we were talking about how you and I both have suffered a lot with losing our band members.
Yeah.
And one being our uncle, my mother's brother, Mr. Earl Espy, and my boy Javon Potts. And for us, it was
And then my dad.
Ron
the following
Pearson.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours were coming back to back like that too.
Ron Pearson, was he the bass player?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad?
Yes, he was. Ron was our MD.
Yes.
But we were talking about, just real quickly, because we're about to wrap up the show, but, how do you get through all that pain? Because I know that you were in the hospital yourself at one point.
So I wasn't in the hospital, but I couldn't walk right for 3 months.
Right, I knew something was wrong, yeah.
I ended up with sciatica and pinched nerve all the way down to my foot. Either way, the previous year, before everything went down, I had been praying and I said, God, I want to focus on my health next year. Like, I have to get it right, because if I'm going to be an entertainer, I need to have the endurance. And I had just come off tour with Vaughn and the Villains, and I realized how emotionally and physically taxing it was. So mid-year, Earl got sick. My dad was already sick. And then Trey got sprung on us. At the top of January, my body broke down. Earl passed, Trey passed, my dad passed, and I went, okay.
Right.
So here's your task. And I remember them all talking to me and just encouraging me and pushing me in the right direction. And though them passing was sad, it was also confirmation that what I had asked for was necessary, and all the lessons that they taught me, I either had to put it into effect or...
Right.
Yes.
So I've just been encouraged. I've been enjoying life even more fully. And I think for anybody dealing with someone passing right now, for me anyways, the only time I felt regret is in the things I didn't say, the questions I didn't ask, and the lessons that I didn't take the time to learn. So whoever you love, if they're suffering or if they're going through something, spend your time with them, ask your questions, and just dig in, because they're there to pass the torch. And when it's passed, be ready.
And that's how I wanted to end the show today.
Yes.
So, message.
Right.
I want to thank you guys for tuning into the EMCK's Loose Lip Show. You can find us everywhere. Lala.
Yes, you can find me on EMCK Loose Lips Radio Show, EMCK Loose Lips Show on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on, that's it, Facebook.
Haley B.
Hey.6 on Instagram, Haley Bell Lindsay on Facebook, and I think that's it, and that's cool.
Sheldon.
And you can find me at Sheldon Butler on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, #FreeNipple.
And I'm your girl, EMCK. You can find me everywhere, EMISSYK, everywhere, even EMCK hashtag everywhere.
Yes.
We want to thank the poetess, our engineer for the day, and for giving us our house. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it is.
She has the
Yes,
studio
it is.
remodeled, and it is the business.
Yes.
We're just happy to be here. We want to thank Lady D's, Marvin, I'm sorry, Jay from
San Pedro.
Yep.
And Kevin Nelson, and our studio guest Rory, Mr. I Love Us.
Yes, I love us.
Everywhere.
Hashtag.
All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you catch us next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live.
Yes.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio. Here we go. Missy K. Missy K. Her beauty and passion. Talk music, passion. Loose lips, red cup, blood Joe. She's always on Facebook, Instagram. Takes calls on the telephone. Sexy if you say so.